Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
It's our unit on careers in today's program. Maybe some of you are still in high school or junior high or whatever, and you still haven't really made up your mind about what you want to do in the future. Well, here's something you might consider: becoming a wedding planner. A wedding planner, okay? Evidently, this is kind of a new profession. These people help people plan their weddings because I guess they're just pretty complicated and they involve all sorts of things.
Oh, they're very complicated, Tom. Yeah. It takes a lot of time, a lot of money. It's very stressful. So if you have a wedding planner, you can kind of take some of the stress off if you're a bride and you're trying to plan your wedding. And you can go to a professional who will help you find the perfect setting, the perfect gown, the perfect whatever. My sister used to do this, so I've seen how busy it is. It's kind of crazy. I hated working with her because after the wedding's over, I would stay up and, help her take all the decorations down and stuff. So we're going to talk about the importance of wedding planners today by reading through our lesson, and then we'll be back to talk about what exactly they do. A wedding is supposed to be the happiest occasion of a couple's life. However, organizing the perfect wedding can involve a vast number of choices, costs, and other details. Add all these together, and you end up with an overwhelming to-do list and more stress than you can handle. That's where a wedding planner comes in. The demand for professional wedding planners has increased in recent decades. There are several reasons for this, including the general trend of people marrying later in life. This likely means both partners have established careers and thus have less time to plan a wedding, and also that they have more money to spend. Wedding planners help oversee the whole process from start to finish. This could include booking and decorating the wedding venue, organizing the catering, arranging invitations, and doing hundreds of other little jobs. At all times, they must make sure that everything runs on schedule and doesn't go over budget. Given all this, there are several essential skills that all wedding planners must have. First and foremost, they need to be organized. If they can't keep track of every aspect of the wedding, it could end in disaster. A good wedding planner should also be knowledgeable. They need to know where to go to find the perfect dress, the best photographer, and everything else that will be needed on the day. Furthermore, they need excellent interpersonal skills in order to manage stressful situations, work under pressure, and reach compromises with the bride and groom, their parents, and the businesses relied upon for the wedding to take place. Being a wedding planner is certainly a demanding job. However, the pleasure of knowing that you've helped to make unforgettable memories for couples is the reason why so many people are prepared to take on the challenges.
Hey, everybody, let's talk about the importance of wedding planners. Of course, a planner is somebody who plans something for you. You could have a financial planner who tells you where to invest your money and stuff like that, how to prepare for retirement. When I first read this article and when I read the title, I wasn't quite sure what to think about the word planner there, because I thought, are they referring to a person or are they referring to like one of those books that have... Yeah, like a
schedule
planner
book?
Yeah, it's like those are sometimes called planners.
They are.
So can you buy a book and, write in different columns to organize your wedding or something? But no, we're not talking about the actual planning book. We're talking about someone who does this. And the first paragraph here introduces the topic to us. It says, a wedding is supposed to be the happiest occasion of a couple's life. So in this sentence, we have the word occasion. Occasion, that is a particular time or event or instance or whatever. On one occasion, I went to Kending with my friend Joe, okay, on one occasion, one time. So this is supposed to be the happiest time, the happiest event, the happiest occasion in a couple's life.
Yeah, sometimes if you have an occasion, it probably involves maybe a party, maybe it's a birthday, or maybe someone got promoted, it's a special occasion, so you want to dress up. So this is one of the happiest occasions of a couple's life, though. However, organizing the perfect wedding is a pain. I'm just going to say it. It's hard. And it can involve a vast number of choices, costs, and lots of details. Now, if you have a vast number of something, you have a lot of something. There are a vast number of stars in the sky. Yeah, some people have a vast collection of music. I'm getting there. I keep buying new songs at home. I've noticed that. So you have lots and lots of choices and costs that you have to take into account. Now, add all of these things up together, and you are going to end up with an overwhelming to-do list, a to-do list of things that you need to get done. So you write number 1, number 2, number 3 on your list, and usually you prioritize those. You put the most important things at the top. Well, if you're going to get married, that to-do list is really long, and you've got a lot of stress that you're going to take on if you're planning a wedding.
It's overwhelming. It can totally flood you with emotions and stuff like that. It can be too much. It can be stressful, and it can actually cause problems with the couple themselves. I've had lots of people tell me that, well, if you can survive the wedding, then your marriage should last for hundreds of years.
Yeah, it can be very stressful.
It can basically test your relationship, and I'm imagining quite a few couples have probably broken up because they had disagreements during the wedding preparations.
Could happen,
probably very likely. And yes, it's more stress than you can handle. And well, that's where a wedding planner comes in. This is a phrase where something comes in. That's when you need a wedding planner. When you don't really know what to do about your wedding, hey, the wedding planner can come to your rescue and take care of all of these things for you. You just sit back and watch everything happen.
Yeah, I'm sure some of our listeners saw a pretty popular rom-com, a romantic comedy, a movie that was out maybe, I would say 10 years ago. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it was with Jennifer Lopez and Matthew McConaughey, and she was a wedding planner for him.
Ooh.
He was getting married to this blonde girl that's really pretty, Bridget Wilson. She's married to Pete Sampras, the tennis player now. So cute. Anyway, obviously, the guy was a little bit more attracted to the wedding planner.
Ooh.
And he broke up with his fiance. Terrible.
Wow.
So, kind of fun. But it was called The Wedding Planner. And, it was okay, but it was fun to watch it all. If you want to know what a wedding planner does and you've never, been around that scene, check out the movie. You can practice your English with it as well.
And, of course, you know that weddings in Taiwan are somewhat different from weddings in the United States, but still the basic premise is the same. We've got a man and a woman making this marital bond to be together forever in sickness and in illness and stuff like that. So, and health, I guess, is the other word there. But
that would
sickness
be just,
and in health.
Just stay with
You're
them.
not always sick, But in any case, yes, indeed, the demand for professional wedding planners has increased in recent decades. So we've got this demand. You all know about the law of supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
If supply is low and demand is high, then the price is high. Well, we've got demand for professional wedding planners now. It's increased in recent decades. I don't know if the supply is low or high, but still this might be something you could consider as a possible career. But in any case, we've got this demand. People want this thing, and it's been on the increase. It's been going up and up in recent decades. More and more people need a wedding planner.
Yeah, when I first got to Taiwan about 11 years ago, one of my friend's moms, she was trying to convince me to go into this business. She was a mother of one of my Taiwanese friends, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And now it really is a big business. Back then, there weren't really a lot of wedding planners around. So the demand has gone up in recent decades. There are several reasons for this. There's a general trend. A trend is when something happens, it's kind of popular, it can go on for a while. There are lots of trends in the world. There are financial trends where you see things happening, going in a general direction. It could be fashion. We talk about fashion trends a lot, of course. But there was a general trend. It's kind of a trend with people. They were starting to marry later in life. Instead of getting married maybe at 25 or 27, they were getting married at 32, 33, things like that. So they were probably more advanced in their careers. They had more money. They probably had less time. As you get promoted, your job is more and more stressful. Even though you're paid more, you have to do more. So they needed help. So they would look around trying to find somebody who could help them plan their weddings. And that's why this demand has gone up in recent years.
Yep, these people are marrying later in life. They're older, so this likely means both partners have established careers and thus have less time to plan a wedding, and also that they have more money to spend. So they've got these established careers. It takes a while to establish your career. To establish here as a verb means to set something up, to take care of all the basic details so that you can build something later. But here established is being used as an adjective. It just means something has been set up. It has set the foundation. It's in place. It's not, in its beginning stages. It's firm. It's not going to break down. So they've worked their entry-level jobs and they've worked themselves up the corporate ladder, and now they're in positions of responsibility with some pretty competitive salaries. And so that means they don't have time to plan a wedding, but they have more money to spend on a wedding planner. And of course, nowadays weddings are turning into more like ways for people to show off how much money they've got, how much did you spend on your wedding? Where did you have the reception? Where did you have your honeymoon? How much did you spend on the diamond ring? How much did the wedding gown cost? How much did the photos cost, etc.? Everybody's trying to outdo everybody. So now, of course, if you're going to do all that, you got to have a wedding planner. You've got the money to hire someone like that now.
Yeah, so wedding planners actually help oversee the whole process. It's kind of a lot of complicated things you have to take care of to get married. If you oversee something, you supervise something, you're managing it, you're kind of looking over at what everyone's doing. This could include booking the venue, where you're going to have the reception and the wedding. That's your venue. It could include decorating that venue as well. You organize the catering. The catering refers to the food that you're going to have that's going to be prepared and served to your guests, arranging invitations, who you're going to invite, doing lots and lots of things. In here it says doing hundreds of other little jobs, which is true. At all times, meaning all the time, they must make sure that everything runs on schedule. Nothing can be late or early. It needs to be on time, on schedule. And you can't spend too much, so you don't want to go over budget. When you talk about a budget, it means the amount of money you have to spend for something. Usually, I would say most businesses, if not all, have a budget. So they know they can't overspend in certain categories. Maybe they can't, if they need more help, but they don't have it in the budget, they can't hire anybody. So you have a budget usually for a wedding. Maybe you've told yourself you're going to spend a couple of $1,000s. US, I'm talking. So if you go over that, you're spending money that you hadn't planned on spending. So you got to be careful. And having a wedding planner who's careful about money is very important.
And we'll continue talking about wedding planners in just a second. Right now, we're going to hear from our Chinese teacher.
Hello everyone, my name is Tina. 我们呢，首先来看到在第一个空格前面的句子提到 However, organizing the perfect wedding can involve a vast number of choices, costs and other details. 在这里的主题讲到呢，你要整个来统整完美的婚礼需要的是很多的决定，然后还有花费，还有很多的细节，然后有这样子的前提，然后第一个空格后面又提到 That's where a wedding planner comes in. 也就是因为这样子，所以才需要一个婚礼的企划师。在这样子搭配前后句，第一个空格我们可以选择 C 选项。Sentence C 里面提到 Add all these together and you end up with an overwhelming to-do list and more stress than you can handle. 在这里句子里面所提到的 all these 也就是呼应前面句子里面很多的决定要做，很多的花费跟细节要考量，你把它全部加在一起，压力真的太大，没有办法去 handle 它，所以就需要一个 wedding planner 婚礼企划师。所以搭配前后文意，第一题的标准答案我们就选择 C 选项。第二个空格，前面的句子提到 There are several reasons for this, including the general trend of people marrying later in life. 为什么需要婚礼企划师呢？原因很多，其中第一个提到的就是人们呢比较呢倾向于晚结婚。为什么晚结婚跟它有关呢？第二题我们可以选择 F 选项。Sentence F 提到This likely means both partners have established careers and thus have less time to plan a wedding, and also that they have more money to spend. 这里的 this 指的就是前面提到的这个 people marrying later in life. 人们比较晚结婚的意味着就是呢，双方都有着已经相当的事业，因此就 have less time to plan a wedding.比较没有时间来策划婚礼，而呢也有比较多的钱可以花，这时候就可以因应着 wedding planners 的出现咯。所以第二题搭配文意，标准答案就选择 F 选项。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, everybody, let's continue with our lesson. Again, we're talking about weddings and how they can involve lots and lots of different details. Booking, the wedding venue, the wedding gown, the catering, the invitations, other little odd jobs. So everything needs to run on schedule and they cannot go over budget. Who's got time to make all those plans?
Yeah.
So again, this is where the wedding planner comes in. Now, given all this, when you're considering all of these details, there are several essential skills that all wedding planners must have. These are essential skills. Essential here just means they are vital. They're absolutely necessary. You've got to have them. They're essential. They're necessary. And what are these skills that they need to have? Well, first and foremost, they need to be organized. Okay, I guess that goes without saying. They need to be organized.
Very.
Some people are organized. Some people are kind of scatterbrained, like me sometimes. Sometimes I'm just not so organized. But I basically keep my schedule organized for the most part. But sometimes it gets screwed up. But,
a little bit, yeah.
If you are organized, though, you can handle all the details, and you pretty much know what's happening at all times.
Yeah, got to be very, very organized, especially if you're handling somebody else's big day. It's not your own stuff, so you can't screw it up. So they also have to keep track of every aspect of the wedding, or it could end in disaster, which is terrible. Because your wedding's probably one of the biggest days you have. So if you keep track of something, you follow it, you monitor it, you watch what's going on. Aspect is just a thing. Every aspect means every part of something. I don't like this aspect of the design, this part of the design. That's what aspect means. And a disaster, of course, is something that happens that nobody wants. We have disasters that happen when a typhoon comes or an earthquake. It's a sudden event. It's an accident, usually. It could be a natural catastrophe. For example, a typhoon that I spoke of, or an earthquake. But if you go and have a terrible date, maybe you're set up with someone, it's a blind date, you don't know them, and it was just horrible. You could say, oh, it was a disaster. It was horrible. But if you don't keep track of details for a wedding, you're going to get lots of stuff mixed up, and who knows, you could end up with having the wrong food at your wedding or maybe the wrong color of flowers. You don't know. You got to be very, very organized.
And you got to be knowledgeable as well. You got to know about all the details. You got to know all the people in the industry, the churches, the venues, the places to have the reception, all that stuff. You got to know about all that kind of stuff. They need to know where to go to find the perfect dress, the best photographer, and everything else that will be needed on the day. Yes, you got to find the perfect dress, the wedding gown, the tuxedo for the groom, and then the nice little dresses for the bridesmaids and the tuxedos for the groomsmen and all that kind of stuff. The flower girls, they need to have their bouquets arranged and stuff like that. You got to get all those details. The photographer, of course, is very important. Even though people are going to be taking pictures with their smartphones, you still need a professional there.
Oh, yeah.
With a medium format camera and professional lighting and backdrops and locations and stuff like that. And, of course, there are all sorts of other things. Transportation, the limousine, stuff like that. Furthermore, they need excellent interpersonal skills in order to manage stressful situations. They also need to work under pressure, and they also need to reach compromises with the bride and groom, with their parents, and the businesses relied upon for the wedding to take place. Oh, God.
Are you tired?
Goodness. Yeah, there's so many things you need to take into consideration. My goodness, I had no idea. You've got interpersonal skills, which means you're able to talk to people and make them happy, and you don't make them angry because you said something. People are so sensitive.
You're a good communicator.
Good communicator, exactly. Yeah. And everybody kind of has their own idea of what they want.
Totally.
The bride has this idea. It's her big day. She's the star there.
It's true.
And the groom is like, well, whatever. It's just a wedding. Who cares? And
it's the bride's day. Let's be honest. It's not for the groom. It's for the bride. Yeah.
That's probably where a lot of the conflict comes from. The groom is probably too blasé about the whole thing. Can we just get this thing over with?
Blasé means he doesn't care. He has no interest in it. Yeah, a little bored. Hopefully, sometimes it's bad if the groom gets involved too much. Let me tell you.
Yeah, just keep him off to the side.
You got to work under pressure. When you have pressure on you, it's stress. It can be mental, it can be physical, it could be both. But it just makes you tired. And sometimes mistakes are made when you're under pressure. Also, you have to reach compromises with the bride and the groom. Say they want something that costs too much. It's over budget. You've got to get them to go along with something that will stay within the budget. If you make a compromise, it means you reach an agreement with people where both sides give a little, that neither side gets exactly what they want. You have to let go of some of the things you want, and then you reach a compromise. That's very important. Not only as you're planning a wedding, but as you get into the marriage, you have to make more compromises. But at that point, the wedding planner is out of the picture. She doesn't have to worry about that. But compromise is important.
And, of course, the businesses are relied upon for the wedding to take place, the restaurant, the venue, etc. You've got to talk to those people as well. Being a wedding planner is certainly a demanding job. Demanding means it's got a lot of pressure, a lot of challenges. People like those kinds of jobs, though. However, the pleasure of knowing that you've helped to make unforgettable memories for couples is the reason why so many people are prepared to take on the challenges. To take on means to accept something, especially if it is a challenge, to accept the challenge. And I guess that's one reason why you might want to get into this. It's not enough to want to get the salary for it. You also need to actually, feel that you are actually helping out people's lives. Let's face it, even though the divorce rate is kind of high, still lots of marriages succeed, and they do help society function. So you are playing an essential role in helping people create the best memory of their lives and make a contribution to society. So yes, you need to take on that kind of challenge and realize you are playing that role.
Yeah, if you take on challenges, it means you accept them. You go ahead and go forward, and you don't let them scare you away. So it's not an easy job, but it's very creative, and you make a lot of lasting memories for a lot of happy brides and grooms, happy couples. Right now, guys, we're going to spend a little bit more time listening to our Chinese teacher, and then we'll be back to wrap it up.
在第二段说明了为什么会需要这个专业的婚礼企划师之后呢，第三段的第一句提到 Given all this, there are several essential skills that all wedding planners must have. 考量到这种种的问题，婚礼企划师都必须具备几种不可或缺的能力。我们要注意到他讲到的是 essential skills， 能力技巧有哪些呢？第三个空格后面提到的是 if they can't keep track of every aspect of the wedding, it could end in disaster. 如果这个婚礼企划师没有办法好好的去掌控每个层面，可能就会沦为一场灾难。所以他所需要的技巧跟技能是什么呢？第三题我们可以选择 A 选项。Sentence A 提到First and foremost, they need to be organized. 首先最重要的呢，就是他们必须是有条不紊，非常有组织的。那么这样子呢，就呼应前面的要有很多的技能。第一个最重要的就是 to be organized， 因为它要呼应后面的句子，它要掌握好所有的细节。所以第三题的标准答案就选择 A 选项。接着后面的句子提到 A good wedding planner should also be knowledgeable. 这个好的婚礼企划师也必须要有非常的见识以及丰富的知识，来呼应 knowledgeable 这个形容词。第四题我们可以选择 D 选项。Sentence D 提到They need to know where to go to find the perfect dress, the best photographer, and everything else that will be needed on the day. 他们要知道哪里去找到最完美的衣服，最棒的摄影师，甚至是那一天所需要的一切其他东西。所以要非常的有见识，并且知识丰富。搭配文意，第四题我们就选择 D 选项。第五个空格要注意它的位置，由于它在一段的一刚开始，你要注意到这是最后一段该做结论了，而后面的句子提到However, the pleasure of knowing that you've helped to make unforgettable memories for couples is the reason why so many people are prepared to take on the challenges. 在这里提到呢，这种呢，得知到你帮助了其他人而成就了一个难忘的回忆，就是这个原因之一。什么原因呢？这么多的人准备好要 take on the challenges， 接受这样子的挑战。别忘了今天的主题是 wedding planners， 他们愿意接受这样的挑战，所以第五题我们可以选择 E 选项。Being a wedding planner is certainly a demanding job. 在这里提到要成为一个婚礼企划师的确是一个很吃力的工作，因为呢，他要回应后面的，他必须要 take on the challenges， 接受很多的挑战。所以呢，第五题的标准答案就选择 E 选项。OK， 以上就是今天的课文讲解，谢谢收听。
Okay, everybody, that brings us to the end of our lesson for today. Good luck to you if you're getting married, and good luck to you if you're planning on becoming a wedding planner. That should be a very lucrative career for you. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.